So hello, I realized that when I did my introduction video, I didn't really introduce myself clearly, and this is for everybody who might want to know who they're talking to. My name is Bobby. It's not an Arabic name, but as you may or may not know, you don't have to take an Arabic name if you do not have a name that is blasphemous or that would be against the religion. So, at my age, I've decided that it's a little hard to be called by another name. I'm not ruling it out. If the right Arabic name came to me, maybe I would change my mind. But being called Bobby is comfortable. I have raised an entire family and I've never been called anything different. I think I said in my introduction video that I've been Muslim for about 1.5 years. I've lived in China for more than 2 years. I first started studying Islam a few years before I came to China in a scholarly way, not to convert necessarily, but just learning about world religions. And I was becoming more and more interested in Islam. And then after I came to China, I met a few Muslim women who were very impressive to me, and they told me a little about their faith. And then as a non-Muslim, I was dating a non-practicing Muslim man, and I learned a lot about the faith from him. And now we're engaged to be married, inshallah. And of course, we don't live together now. He is in his home country. I am here in China as a teacher. I feel like even though he was a non-practicing Muslim at the time, I don't know if I could have done this without him, because he was full of knowledge, and even though he doesn't always practice, he believes with all his heart. And yes, part of Islam is the rituals and doing the prayers and abstaining from the right foods and behaviors, but part of Islam too is your faith, and if your faith is strong, you can still bring people to Islam. And so that's a little about how I got here. I continue to teach. I'm in a small town called Huizhou, which is South China. For those of you people who don't know anything about China, if you know a little bit about China, I'm kind of across the bay from Hong Kong. This town does have Muslims, as all of China does, as all of Asia. It would be impossible to find a place, I think, in Asia without Muslims. It's one of the predominant religions in this part of the world. Mostly they're Chinese Muslims here. I haven't seen a single, I think I have a teacher that I work with who's American, and I've seen some people riding a bike around who are maybe American or African, and that's it. So I don't have a solid Muslim group here to talk to, or to ask questions to, or to talk to. And you'll notice I don't use very many of the little Arabic catchphrases that you hear a lot of Muslim women say. Very seldom will you hear me say mashallah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. I do sometimes, but it's not part of my speech. I didn't grow up in Asia. I grew up in America, and I didn't grow up around Muslims. I did work with Muslims on occasion, but that was pretty much it. So I think it's awkward for me, and once I am married to my husband and I'm hopefully living in a Muslim country, I will maybe develop the habits of using those words rather than curse words occasionally, which I still haven't completely beat myself out of yet. Also, in China, I do not wear this. Not just my employers here, but I would literally be the only one. And there's a lot more to it than that. It's not fear. I have my own reasons or my own beliefs in whether or not I should have to wear this, but everybody's different. You practice your faith according to you. If you need a full body burqa and you feel that is your way of obeying your God and your religion, then by all means, that's right for you. For me, I wear this, I wear a scarf or hijab for prayer, to go to the mosque, for special occasions, and when it's necessary, and sometimes just to wear it because it makes me feel more comfortable and protected and less vulnerable. And sometimes just pride. I go out sometimes and you go out. I want to make sure the world understands me. I want to make sure the world understands how I feel. And I want to be proud of what I am. In China, that is not always an option. And when I leave China, I travel in the airport without a hijab. Usually just wear a hat for covering. So a lot of you may have an issue with that. Like I said, everybody practices in their own way. I believe in Islam. I believe in Allah with all my heart. I believe Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I practice all the 5 pillars. If you have a problem with me not covering my hair, which is not particularly very attractive hair, I'm not feeling like I'm being immodest by showing my hair, and again, that's probably my Western upbringing, but it is what it is. So take me or leave me. This is how I am. What else can I tell you about me? I also have children back home that are not children anymore. As you can tell by looking at me, my children are not young anymore. But they're very sweet and accepting of my beliefs, although my children unfortunately are atheists for now. My parents maybe think I'm being influenced and they are the kind of people who believe that all Muslims are terrorists. So of course they don't consider me Muslim, but they think that I'm somehow going to become a terrorist. So I'm not. Islam, of course, is a religion of peace. Anybody who's read or knows anything about the religion should know. I'm paraphrasing because I'm bad at memorizing the Quran, but basically whoever kills an innocent is like, I can't even remember how it goes now. But you will not get into Jannah by killing innocent people. And a Muslim does not do that. So I will not judge other people, but I will say that I cannot conceive of believing in the same words that I believe of the Quran and killing innocent people. And I'm tired of defending my religion. I just want to be a Muslim. I don't want to have to be Muslim because to every person I meet that's not Muslim. I don't know if you guys can feel that. I don't want to be, oh, but we're not. That's not my job. I just am a woman. I'm a teacher. I'm a Muslima. I'm a lot of things. But my job is not to explain politics and war to the entire world. That is not my job. That is not the job of every Muslim. That is not the job of every American to explain why America is so violent. It's not the job of every Muslim to explain ISIS. It's not the job of, every person does not have to explain why they are what they are. They just are. And I continue to be hurt that I can't just be who I am. And maybe the world will change, maybe it won't. But that's okay. Because either way, everything is Allah wills, and He plans better than them, than anybody. Of course, like I said, I am terrible at paraphrasing the Quran, but basically it says Allah is the best of planners. So you have to trust Him. What else can I tell you about? I will try in some of my videos to show you what my little city in China is like. Some of you may be more interested in that than hearing me babbling on about religion. So even though the purpose of this page is mainly to teach you about Islam, or to not to teach you, I would say to share a spirit of brotherhood with you, because I am alone here and I do not know any Muslims. And although I've been in China over 2 years, I do not speak Chinese well enough to even talk to the people at the Chinese noodle shops, which is the only Chinese in my city. Only Chinese Muslims in my city really is, they all have these noodle shops, which China is famous for their Muslim noodle shops. They're delicious, but they're very different from me, and of course they speak even a different dialect of Chinese at a lot of these, especially in the south here. So I'm left on the outside of that, of the community here. I did live in Beijing the past year. There's some wonderful mosques. I don't know if you Americans know, in Asia, we don't always have the option of going to mosques, not like in America. A lot of Asia does not allow women in mosques. I can go a different day into how the complications of why that is the case in some countries. But for now, suffice to say, in China, in Beijing, there is women's mosques that are separate from men's mosques, which is nice because you don't really want to go into a mosque to a dating site. You'll notice even on my page, I'll begin to get dating apps or men looking for American Muslim wives, and it's not appropriate for a mosque. So it is nice to have a separate women's mosque. And I'm not talking about these little areas that you see at some mosques or you hear about that are these closed off little areas. They have whole separate buildings in Beijing for women. And I don't know how to explain it. I love it. It's quiet, it's peaceful. You're not stared at by men. And because most women will pray at home, because I don't know if you know, but Muhammad said that the best place for a woman to pray is at home. And of course the times were different then. Women had house duties and didn't have duties outside the home, except for his wives, who had crazy amount of duties outside the home, and whether businesswomen or warriors or putting together the Quran. Of course they were not housewives. But if you're a housewife and you have children, of course it's better to pray at home. If you're a businesswoman and you need to be out and around, you can't always pray at home. That doesn't work. And not only that, a mosque is a beautiful place to meet other women and to have some help with the faith. I know it's just about us and Allah, but it is nice to have other women to support you and other people to rely on in your faith. I think that's very important. I think that's always been important in Islam. So that was a really long, rambling introduction to me that went everywhere. More about me will be coming, of course. Thank you for listening.